President-elect Trump is attending the Army-Navy football game with a number of his key allies, from Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth to Elon Musk to Daniel Penny. That's the former Marine just exonerated in the subway chokehold case, all together in the suite with President-elect Trump tonight. And News Nation's Alina Shirazi is live there. Alina, what can you tell us?
Natasha, good evening. Well, the Navy did just win at 31-13, so you just flip those two numbers around and you have that military matchup score. But this was certainly a very exciting game. This was my first time at the Army-Navy game, and I can tell you we've been here since 8 in the morning, and it has gone progressively more exciting. The game did end about 20 minutes ago, so as you can see behind me here, the field has sort of emptied out, but earlier there were people packed in here, I mean like sardines, seriously. We did see, of course, the president-elect. He was the talk of the town. Trump did enjoy the game with Vice President pick J.D. Vance, Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth, and House Speaker Mike Johnson. We did see Trump in the skybox. He was waving to the crowd several times. He was giving his classic fist bump, and this crowd certainly loved it. They were cheering on the president-elect every time he popped up on the big screen. We also saw House Speaker Mike Johnson. He spoke, we saw, for a good 40 minutes with Trump. The Trump team also recently did post these photos on X showing Trump and them saluting for the national anthem. Trump posing with Johnson and incoming Senate Majority Leader John Thune. Elon Musk also spotted with the group. We didn't see Florida Governor Ron DeSantis with Trump, but we do know DeSantis is here at the game. He did post on X himself. But as the Army and Navy battle it out this week, we do know they did come together to test a new advanced weapon system. The Army and Navy have successfully completed a critical test of the Common Hypersonic Glide Body, is what it's called. The Pentagon says the test at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station paves the way for both branches. The Army will integrate it into its long...
So, yeah, you had Trump pulling up to, once again, another game where he was loved. The crowd cheered extremely loudly. He pulled up with, the crew of Avengers, as it's been coined, right? Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth, I think Vivek was there as well, J.D. Vance. But he also had some interesting characters along with him. And I know the initial reaction to some of these characters, like the Mike Johnsons of the world and the Senator Thunes, John Thune, might be a little, whoa, Trump, why do you got these guys around you? But probably, when was it? Whenever Trump originally launched his campaign, and his second campaign, right? And, he was doing these interviews. I famously remember the Caitlin Collins interview when he said, I just want people to stop dying, in response to the question of whether or not he wanted Ukraine to win. I was watching him do these interviews, and I'm watching them try to get Trump in a gotcha moment. And he never took the bait. Out of all the interviews he was doing with, the lamestream media, the terrible media, when they were trying to, get him in a gotcha moment, he never gave them anything, ever. Not once did he slip up and say this or say that. And I was like, yo, this is Trump 2.0. This is a different guy. This is a guy who knows the ins and outs of all of this. This guy seems different. He seems calculated. And I believe that having Mike Johnson and Senator Thune there is a calculated move. For the obvious reason, Mike Johnson is obviously the Speaker of the House. You're gonna need him on your side, whether or not you like him or not. You're still gonna need him on your side for those few Congress people in the House that may be a little shaky, a little wavery, because there are still rhinos in the House that may be a little wavery. Mike Johnson can be like, come on, it's all right. Come on and vote for it. All right, let's. Mike Johnson could be that rallying guy, right? Same thing in the Senate with John Thune. John Thune is obviously the Senate Majority Leader now. So having him on your side, and you saw Senator Thune smiling ear to ear next to Trump, I think that is a very strategic move, because he's going to need the people in the Senate as well to pass through the Trump agenda. And I know some people are going to say, well, Rich, if they don't want to get on with the get on, like, we could just vote them out. Well, people like John Thune just were reelected. Lisa Murkowski, I believe, was just reelected. She's not up until like 28 or 29. So It's going to be a while. If they want to, they can sabotage the Trump agenda. That's not what we want. You want to get these people on your side. I mean, you want to, we're going to have to rub elbows with them for the next 4 years just to, hey, come on, yeah. When the 4 years is up, we can say, yeah, I never really liked you, but I needed you for the moment. You know, hey, it is what it is. That's the way it has to be done until we get enough rhinos out of Congress. That's just the way it's going to have to be. But here is a clip from the game that I'm sure you guys will absolutely love seeing. It's amazing. Check it out.
Now, please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, performed today by the combined glee clubs of the United States Military Academy and the United States Naval Academy, under the direction of Connie Chase.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red red, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Gotta love it. Gotta love it, right? Gotta love it. Absolutely. So, and obviously you heard in the clip, in the first clip, everybody loves Trump. Everybody, wherever this guy goes. And that's why I was saying, like, I don't see how this guy could possibly lose. Whenever this guy shows up to any game, and the fact that he's at games, did you notice something? Was Joe Biden at the game? Was Kamala Harris at any game? What about Tim Walz? Do you see AOC pulling up to any games? Do you see golly, what's his name? Goodness gracious, I'm drawing a blank. The governor of California, California. Do you see him showing up to any games? I know I'm drawing a blank. I can see his face. You don't see any of it. Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania. You don't see any of these folks showing up to games. Why? Because they probably get booed out of the stadium. But Trump, everywhere he goes, including in deep blue New York when he pulled up to that bodega, getting love and cheers. I love you, Trump. I love you, Trump. Wherever he goes. It's amazing. It really is amazing. Meanwhile, you have Kamala reportedly trying to plot the next move. And that next move is quite interesting because I'll just play the clip because y'all gonna be shocked. Check it out.
Tell us what the likelihood is of Harris running for governor.
What she's been saying to people over the last couple of weeks, donors, other supporters that she's been talking with, is you haven't seen the last of me. I'm not going quietly into the night. Advisors, people close to her, are debating about what that means. They do not want her final official act ever to be essentially certifying Donald Trump's win over her, especially 4 years after January 6th. And so they look at this governor's race in California in 2026, and it seems to them like a layup, essentially, that she would probably clear the field, or mostly clear the field, and she would get to be governor of California. It's a pretty good job, right? It was good enough for Ronald Reagan and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jerry Brown. But if she does that, that means that she couldn't turn around and run for president again in 2028, right? She'd need to essentially declare right away. And that is what it really comes down to, because there are people close to her who say she didn't get a fair shot this year. It wasn't up to what she could have done, and look how well she performed anyway. she should get to go again in 2028. And then there are ones who say, look, with where things are with the Democratic Party, she would not have a clear field, a cleared field, rather, in the Democratic primary, and could lose the nomination. And to come off of 2024 into that would be.
Yeah, so you have Kamala and her team talking about a possible run for governor of California. Now, I think she should turn that down. I think she should run for president again, personally. And so do the Democrat voters, because this is how they feel about their options to be the nominee for 2028.
Who can lead them out of the wilderness after a humiliating defeat? But they might need a wider net. According to a new poll, Kamala Harris is now the 2028 frontrunner. Yeah, the word salad queen who fumbled the ball and couldn't articulate a single policy without telling us about her being a middle-class kid, garnering 41%, with Gavin Newsom coming in second at 8%. And even Katie Couric is shredding VP Harris for giving word salad responses in campaign interviews.
I think she really did well in so many areas, and but I was frustrated by her inability to really succinctly answer questions at times, Jen. You know, people notice that, and it's like, answer the question, please.
Ooh, the party is also full of advice on how to win back the working class that jumped the ship.
When we have the historic perspective of workers leaving our party, we've got a serious problem.
I am trying to moderate the party. This is not about me, though. This really is about how we get the party back to a winning position. And we're not going to win the midterms.
If you don't like something that somebody's saying, if you don't like something that somebody's doing, why not go talk to that person about it, and challenge them right then and there? Well, how about grow some and go on these platforms?
So you saw there, Democrat voters still pick Kamala to be the nominee in 28. Hey, and listen, I support it. I fully endorse it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be out here campaigning for it. Yes, Kamala. Yes, 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 queen. Yes, I think we should all cheer Kamala on. 2028, let's go, Kamala. Let's go. You didn't get a fair shake at it. Run again. Run again. So you have more than 3 months to burn through $2 billion, you know? Take a year to burn through $2 billion, you know? Yeah, I like that idea. Go ahead. Please, please, please. You didn't get a fair shake, you know? You're a woman of color, so, you know, you're underserved, you're underprivileged, right? You didn't get a fair shake. So I think it's only right that the Democrat Party, you know, put you back on the ticket. You're a woman of color, so of course they have to put you up first. All right? Excuse me. Obviously, I'm joking, guys. Well, kind of. I do want her back on the ticket in 28. I think that's an easy dub. Easy W. Clean sweep. Whether that's J.D. Vance, Byron Donalds, Larry Elder, right? Vivek Ramaswamy, Candace Owens. It's an easy W for any one of those folks. Any one of those folks. So yeah, my early on pick right now is probably Larry Elder, only because he's older than the rest of the group. So we got an extended runway with a lot of the younger folks, you know, the J.D. Vance, the Byron Donalds, the Viveks of the world, right? We got a lot of runway, Candace Owens as well. But Larry Elder is obviously getting older, so I would love to see him as president. I believe in Larry Elder personally, so I would love to see him in that seat, and I think he would do well, very, very well in debates. Oh man, he would destroy some folks in debates. But we shall see. We shall see. I wouldn't mind the others as well. Obviously, that's why I named them. But yeah, man, Kamala might be on the return in 2028. Quite interesting stuff there, huh? Peace and love. I'm out.